subject of the shiur, importance of unity in Am Yisrael. I'm sure that many of you hear the latest news. What's happening in the world, because Am Yisrael at the moment is in its crucial time. Crucial time, there is a lot of separation and deviation amongst the Jewish people. I don't know how many of you realize that after that the President of the United States, Donald Trump, announced that he accepts to move the embassy from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem, and he accepted and he agreed that Jerusalem is the capital of Israel. Not that we needed his permission, but he done it. Not only him, I see that Guatemala also joined, Romania after that came, and the Republic of the Czechoslovakian also, Cuba also. So can you imagine, many people follow that. And why am I saying it? Because we know that the left wing in Israel, they're there to destroy, they try to destroy every little bit of Yiddishkeit is in Israel. The left is against that. So from them, I didn't expect too much. But when there is a movement that called themselves the Reform, and they go in and they say that what Donald Trump says, it was the wrong move, that Jerusalem is not the capital of Israel. And not only that, these people that wear yarmulkes from a different sector, not from the same movement, say that Jerusalem actually shouldn't be, or Donald Trump, let me correct myself, Donald Trump shouldn't announce that Jerusalem should be the capital of Israel. So I decided to make that show, and let's see. Especially when the Torah tells us, where is Bet HaBchira? Bet HaBchira, I'm referring to Bet HaMikdash, in Yerushalayim, nachon? So if you wear a yarmulke, I don't understand. Where should be Bet HaMikdash? Where should be Yerushalayim? Not the capital of Israel? Where was Bet HaMikdash? In Tel Aviv? In Eilat? In Ra'anana, Fontaine? I don't understand. You may be laughing, but I'm upset that people that wear yarmulke can say that it's the wrong move to announce that Jerusalem is the capital of Israel. So, I would like just to start with a few ideas that Hazal tell us, and then I'll move to how important is the peace and the unity in Am Yisrael. Hazal tell us something very important. Hazal tell us in Midrash Rabbah, צדיק ח' ב', נעשו בני ישראל אגודה אחת, התקינו עצמם לגאולה. That means, when the Jewish people become one society, they're ready to be redeemed. That means that if the Jewish people get united with no variable, one forgive each other, we're ready for the Geula, Rabotai. We're ready to be redeemed. We see that now HaKadosh Baruch Hu smiled to us, send us Donald Trump, many other companies, other countries that announced that they part and they agree that Jerusalem, they agree, we don't need the agreement, that Jerusalem is going to be the capital of Israel. But when we have people among us that wear yarmulkes and they say that Yerushalayim shouldn't be announced as the capital of Eretz Israel, what should we do?
Who actually says that? I've never heard anyone with a yarmulke say that.
Okay, so I'll tell you. I heard that. First of all, the Reform. Did you hear about the Reform movement?
Yeah, right.
Reform movement.
Do they wear yarmulkes?
The left, we don't know if they're even Jews.
Yeah.
Let's start with that. I didn't want to say it, but Paul, if anyone sue me, you dare. Huh? You're the advocate. So I'll tell you who. A rabbi in the Yeshiva University in America that wear a yarmulke, he gone against that. You can see it in an article. Am I right, Les? You showed me. It's a professor.
Yeah.
Can you believe it? But anyway, we have to understand that the Torah, the Hazal tell us in the Midrash, that if we come one society, we're ready for redemption. So we, as we call ourselves people that Shomrei Torah and Mitzvot, that keep Torah and Mitzvot, we shouldn't follow those people. We should not act like those people that love to cause argument, love to cause division or deviation among the Jewish people. Because the Torah, I'm going to bring only 5 places, 5 different quotes, where the Torah tells us, in different places. I'm going to start with Torah Shebichtav, with the written Torah, then I'll move to the oral Torah, I'll move to Midrashim, and I'll move, in the end, even to Sefer Iyov. That means that I'm going to go right through the Tanakh, where HaKadosh Baruch Hu commands us to live in peace. Because the basic of our religion is unity and peace. Without peace, nothing happens. So the Torah tells us in Sefer Bamidbar, Parashat Naso, chapter 6, verse 26, the Torah tells us something very interesting, that we say it every morning in Birkat Kohanim. Or every time that we say Birkat Kohanim, we say it. Yisa Adonai panav elecha, v'yasem lecha shalom. Everyone understand? There is someone that didn't understand that verse? Okay, Brian, you didn't. What it means, Yisa Adonai panav elecha? HaKadosh Baruch Hu will turn his charm to you. And not only that, v'yasem lecha shalom. And he will put peace on you. That's the bracha that HaKadosh Baruch Hu told Moshe Rabbeinu, or command Moshe Rabbeinu to tell Aaron and his son to bless the Jewish people. Peace. The second one, I'm now moving on to David Melech Israel. David Melech Israel wrote the book of Tehillim. David Melech Israel wrote in chapter 29, verse 11, Hashem oz le'amo yiten, Hashem yevarech et amo b'shalom. HaKadosh Baruch Hu will give courage to his nation, and HaKadosh Baruch Hu will bless his nation with peace. Now I'm going to go to Gemara Masechet Derech Eretz Zuta. I don't know how many of you are familiar with that. There is 2 Derech Eretz. Derech Eretz Rabba, Derech Eretz Zuta. Rabba is a big one, Zuta is a small one. And that's come in Seder Nezikim. Okay, the Gemara, there is 2 kinds of Gemarot in the name of Derech Eretz. One is Derech Eretz Rabba, the big one, and one Derech Eretz Rabba Zuta, the small one, the shorter version. There is the bigger version and the smaller version. You follow?
What's the smaller version?
The smaller version is much compressed version. Let's put it this way. I'll explain now. So that can be found in the Shas, in the part of the Nezikim. You can find it in the Seder of Nezikim. And there is a chapter, Rabotai, there is a chapter that called HaShalom, the peace. Did you ever think about a chapter in the Gemara that called the peace? You never heard about it. And listen what it said there. Listen carefully, because whenever anyone asks you, you'll know how to answer them. And there it says, Gadol hu HaShalom, ששמו של הקדוש ברוך הוא נקרא שלום. I will translate. Gadol hu HaShalom. The peace is so big, it's so important, that the name of the Almighty, it's called peace. Do you understand what I'm saying? I don't think that you digest what I say. Gadol hu HaShalom. The peace is so important to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and I'm going to bring example just now, that the name of the Almighty being called Shalom. That means one of the name of the HaKadosh Baruch Hu is Shalom. Do you understand that? So there is people that call him Shalom. Nachon? You say to your friend Shalom Aleichem. That's the name of the Almighty. There's a big debate there if you can say or not. That's not for now. We'll speak about it another time. Not only that, I'm going to go now to Masechet Gemarot that you're all familiar. In page 64, folio 1, it says like this, Amar Rabbi Hanina, Talmidei Hachamim marbim shalom ba'olam. That means a Talmid Hacham should bring peace to the world. That means the Talmid Hacham that wear a yami and call himself a Talmid Hacham shouldn't cause friction, shouldn't cause deviation amongst the Jewish people. The opposite. I would like to end with the fifth example that I brought, and that's come from the book of Job. You know who wrote Eov? Who wrote Eov? Moshe Rabbeinu. Moshe Rabbeinu wrote the book of Eov. In chapter 25, verse 2, listen what it says. It's a very, very famous verse. Oseh shalom bimromav. HaKadosh Baruch Hu does peace where? Up in heaven. Remember, we said in the end of Tfilat Shmona Esrei, נכון? In the end of Birkat Hamazon. In the end of Kaddish. That we're praising HaKadosh Baruch Hu. That means HaKadosh Baruch Hu make where peace? Up in heaven. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל עמו ישראל. That means HaKadosh Baruch Hu make peace up in heaven, and he'll make peace also here on earth. We're asking him. Any questions so far? Yes, Paul.
But we're not saying that peace at any cost, are we? And actually that reminds me of something that bothers me always. When I say Ashrei, it says that Hashem opens his hands. The crucial verse, that Hashem opens his hands and he satisfies every single human being. And
Not every human being, not only human being.
I'm mistranslating.
I'll speak to you about it. Let me finish and then I'll come back to you. Because you asked two questions here. Number one, you ask, is peace in every condition? Nachon? In every, if we have to do it, whatever it costs to make peace. We'll see that. I'm going to get to it. But you know what? Let me answer פותח את ידיך ומשביע לכל חי רצון. הקדוש ברוך הוא, we ask הקדוש ברוך הוא to open his hand and to bring down prosperity from heaven to every living human being. Not only human being, every animal. Every little thing that is alive. What does it mean? And if you look, the Sephardi have a custom to lift up their hand up to their face to receive the prosperity. Because the word poteh et yadecha, the Rashi Tevot is Pei Aleph Yud. It's a holy name. Samech Aleph Lamed, and then there is Sofet Tevot Hef Tav Kaf Sofit. That's holy name that HaKadosh Baruch Hu represent the holy name of prosperity. You'll sit with me in a Siddur, I'll explain to you. So when we ask HaKadosh Baruch Hu to bring down prosperity, why to bring down prosperity? We're sinning. We shouldn't get any prosperity. And those are we asking him. You understand? Now I'm going to move on to what you ask. Is it in every... How did you call it?
At any cost.
At any cost. So I'm going to bring two examples that I wrote, and that will answer your thing. Hazal tell us how important is the peace. And Hazal tell us and try to explain to us to understand, and when we read the Chumash, for us to understand. I bring two examples, one from the Torah and one from the Nach, to see how important is peace. Hazal tell us that in a time of Bet HaMikdash was exist, there is what we call a din sota, the sota woman. Did you hear about it? What is it, a sota woman? A sota woman, it's a woman that the husband was suspicious of her, that has v'shalom, that she have a married woman, that she have a physical or she have intimate relationship with another man. Because he have no proof, he take her to the Kohen. What does the Kohen do? He takes a scroll and he writes the name of the Almighty, the holy name on the Almighty on a scroll. Then he take the ash of Para Aduma, the red heifer, they put with that water, they mix it together, and they put the scroll with the name of the Almighty into the water. You know what's happening? The name of the Almighty gets erased. One of the negative commands that you should not erase the name of the Almighty. Everyone know that, the holy name of the Almighty. HaKadosh Baruch Hu say, I'm willing that my name will be erased as long that will be peace between a husband and a wife. Rabota, did you hear that? HaKadosh Baruch Hu say, erase my name as long that will be peace between a husband and a wife. So what about Klal Am Yisrael? Not one individual. Klal Am Yisrael. How important is it to have peace? That's not the end. Hazal continue and tell us something even more important. Sorry, so what's happened? The Kohen take that water and let the woman drink from it. And if the woman sin, she get bloated and explode. But if the woman didn't sin, and the husband was suspicious of her, if she never have kids, boys, she'll have boys. And if she have boys, she'll have a clever boys, smarter boys, a genius boy, strong, healthy, whatever you want to name it. It's all in the name of peace. HaKadosh Baruch Hu willing to erase his name. So what we should say. Let's continue. Hazal come and teach us something more important. We used to have a king, Ahav. I don't know how many of you heard about him. Ahav was a king of Israel. He was a wicked king. He used to worship idols. You know that. Not only that he used to worship idols, he didn't allow any Jews to go and serve at Bet HaMikdash. But Hazal bring us something extraordinary about him. Hazal tells us that Ahav's army, when they used to go to a war, none of his soldiers ever died. Can you explain that to me? Hazal asked how. Those people, they're idol worshippers. And they go to war, and none of them get hurt. None of them get killed. Doesn't make sense. Nachon? Hazal answer, you know why? The army of Ahav, the soldier of Ahav, none of them died during the war? Because there was unity amongst them. Shalom. They lived in peace and harmony one with each other. Now, Bota, you know all the story that's happening today in Israel. It's a very crucial time. Very, very crucial time. The enemies that we have from the outside want to wipe us off, want to destroy us. From the other side, we have the left that want to destroy, not only want to destroy us, want to destroy the Torah. Every little bit of Yiddishkeit that there is in Israel, they want to wipe it off. And they do everything that they can. Not only that, I want to tell you something else. The left actually trained, and that's I hear from my friend or from Dr. Les Glassman. I didn't know that. Dr. Les told me that the left actually buy the equipment, lehavdil from Les, all the cameras, lehavdil, ben atameh latahor. You understand, Les? You bought the camera. They buy the cameras, they teach him how to use it, and they tell him where to stand, and they're always ready for a mistake. And that's what's happened, Nabech, with Elor Azar. That he shot a terrorist. What did Elor Azaria done? Can you explain to me? He shot a terrorist. You all agree with me? No. There is anyone that doesn't agree. That terrorist stabbed his friend.
He did a good job shooting.
I agree with you. But that's not the issue. The issue is, I want to know one thing. To put them in jail? You know who's behind it? The left. That's the multination, Erev Rav, Pashut. Rabotai. That's all. We have from one hand our cousin that tried to destroy us. From the other hand, we have the left. From the other side, we have the reform movement. But now, to hear that people among us that were a army, to say that Jerusalem, to announce that Jerusalem is the capital of Israel, it's the wrong thing to do? Can you imagine that? I think that we need now more than ever unity. We have to understand that without unity, Israel can't survive. When do we are the strongest? When are we the strongest? Only when we united. You remember in a 6-day war that everyone was already, they didn't even know. They was talking about mass grave. HaKadosh Baruch Hu saw that we're lifting up our eyes to Him, and we got united as one nation like we should be, and we saw the miracle. So we that we call ourselves religious, we're yamis, we should not follow those people. We should not gonna be led like sheep to be slaughtered.
How much following has the guy got? One person can make a statement.
Listen, if one person already move out from the crowd, and you have another one, and you have another one, it's already an united nation. Do you understand what I'm saying? It doesn't make a difference how many. One of us break the change. You understand what I'm saying? And I'll give you an example. Brian, you're quite good on computer. When you want to send the email and you don't put the dot on the right place, will the email arrive? No. You agree with me? Or you put just one, or you miss one letter, that email will return. You agree with me? No. That's what is it with Am Yisrael. We all want change. You can't break the change. Once that you break the change, that's it, there's a gap. And that gap will grow eventually. We all have different opinion. It's fine, we're human beings. We all should have a different opinion. But as a Jew, we all have to unite it. You can keep your opinion. There's no problem with that. The same like you don't agree always with your wife, you don't always agree with your kids. You're entitled for it. But we all Jews. Believe me, when we gone to the concentration camp, Hitler didn't care if you was German Jew, not German Jew, you convert, you didn't convert. He checked 5 generations backwards. It doesn't make a difference. We are Jews. Our job is to be united. And Hazal tell us, if we become one society, we're ready for redemption. What else can we do? So it's our jobs, as people that wear Yami, to tell everyone that we don't need Trump to tell us that Israel, that Jerusalem is the capital. The Torah tells us. But HaKadosh Baruch Hu have mercy on us, have kindness, passion on us, and send us Donald Trump. And many people say, you see why they're starting again, the Intifada? They will find any excuse to murder, to bomb, any excuse.
Rockets.
What did Israel done? If you ask yourself, what did Israel done? Nothing. We said quietly. We didn't announce it. We always say it.
Abu Mazen said it's not Palestinian today, it's Kenani. 5,000 years ago.
Okay, so he's a Canaanite.
Before us.
So I tell you, so I have a news for him. You know, I spoke to my friend Simon. You know my friend Simon Maruti?
Yep.
I have a chat with Simon Maruti about Canaanim. You remember, Simon, about Canaan? Remember we spoke? So I think that Simon can have a good answer to Abu Mazen. So any excuse, Rabotai, what Moti tried to say, that Abu Mazen tried to find any excuse.
This is from the Torah, so
But he have no clue what our Torah. He doesn't even know his own history. He tried to teach us our history. That's the difference. That come people that even don't know our history and try to teach us history, and we fall into it. That's exactly the point. Exactly, Moti. That's exactly, Moti. Exactly, that's it. That people try to teach us our history and they don't know our history. And there is some of us that follow like sheep to the abattoir. That's what I'm talking about. And this is our job, Brian. Doesn't make a difference if it's one professor, two professors. If you were a Yami and they say that you stole, what all the world say? You see, religious people stole. But you're not religious, because if you're religious, you wouldn't steal. You agree with me? Because the Torah tells us you should not steal, you should not steal. But he represents the Jewish people. By that you wear a yarmulke and you belong to a certain place, you don't have to agree. But don't open your mouth like this. I'm the little one that I hope, I don't want to hurt anyone's feeling. But we don't say things like this. This is our nation. You're talking about the entire Jewish nation. You know what that can cause? How much havoc that can cause in the world. And people take his thing and say, here is a professor. So what if he's a professor? HaKadosh Baruch Hu given him a bit of brain, but depends what you use it for. You know, Einstein also used his brain. What did he brought to the world? And what is Talmidei Hachamim bring? Shalom. That's the difference. Rabotai. So we are that we're a Yami. We should take ourselves and we should say to ourselves, HaKadosh Baruch Hu love peace. The name of HaKadosh Baruch Hu is Shalom. We should encourage more Shalom. We should be more united. We should be more forgiving of each other. Never mind our opinion. And we should unite it to one thing. And then when HaKadosh Baruch Hu will see us united together, בעזרת השם, he'll send us, משיח צדקנו במהרה בימינו, אמן כן יהי רצון.